I know you talk about intermittent fasting, so
Mhm.
let's talk about the importance of that, and then what supplements that you would recommend to strengthen the immune system.
Yeah, absolutely. So, and I'll say I was at there's a the biggest one of the biggest functional medicine anti-aging shows was just this past weekend in Las Vegas called A4M, and I was there I think 4 nights, and every night is a late night. Every night involves drinks. Every night involves eating out, and it's a true test of your body's resilience, right? And it's for those kind of things that, to me, my personal goal, health goal, is to dramatically improve my resilience, because I want to be able to do all those things and socialize and do the business contacts and all that stuff, but then not come home sick like a lot of people do, right? And not pay for it for the next week. The goal there, if you had a couple of things to keep in mind, it's to increase the diversity of microbes in your gut, right? Because again, that's the largest sampling site. The more diversity you have, it means the more good commensal microbes you have, the more resilient that ecosystem is to the presence of pathogens and those pathobionts that really screw up your immune response. So diversity is absolutely key, and increasing the keystone species is really key, because many of these keystone species, like Akkermansia, like Fecalum bacteria, like Biflongum, they play a very important role in supporting your immune system. So what can you do about that, right? So a probiotic that increases diversity becomes extremely important. The megaspore biotic, we've been able to show, increases diversity, right? So that becomes a staple part of continuing to build your resilience. The second part of it is feeding the microbes with the right prebiotics. So I use the Mega Pre. The Mega Pre is really important. And when you combine the Mega Pre and Megaspore, the diversity of the gut microbiome increases by like 30 to 35% in just 3 weeks. That's very significant, right? And you increase butyrate and short chain fatty acid production by almost 150%. And those are very critical compounds that your immune system needs to function at its optimal level. Again, that also makes your gut resilient to being overtaken by either foodborne illnesses or other pathogens that may already exist in your gut. I use the IgG as well. The IgG is really important because it binds up lots of dysfunctional microbes and toxins and so on. So it reduces the load your immune system has to carry. It's like a helping hand for your immune system on a constant basis, and it's less distracted, right? The fewer targets the immune system has to deal with, the less distracted it is, and it can pay attention to things that are coming in through the respiratory tract and so on, right? So I use the IgG in the gut because it binds up things and it neutralizes things. Now, you mentioned fasting. Fasting is a critical part of it. When I'm in a place like Vegas and I'm traveling and all that, I'm still sticking with my intermittent fasting, right? And in many ways, it can be hard to get your full 16 hours in, especially if your sleep is disrupted and all that, and you're staying up and you're awake earlier than you normally do. But I use actually, as it turns out, your product, the keto support product, because that I have found in the morning when I wake up and I take it within the first hour or two after waking up, it actually helps me prolong my fast to hit at least the 16 hours. Sometimes I end up going longer because it gives you that assistance. It kind of helps drive you into that ketogenic state. And then it provides you that sustenance, and I do most of my workouts in the morning in a fasted state, and that's really helped me prolong that fasted state and kind of fight off the hunger pangs. So that's another thing. And why do I fast? Well, because fasting increases the diversity of your microbiome as well. And fasting does another very important thing. It does some cleanup mechanisms, right? It triggers something called autophagy, which is the body's ability to clean up debris, cellular debris, dysfunctional cells, and all that can interfere with your immune system's functions. You want the space to be clean and clear so your immune system can see where the problem is, right? So you don't want a whole bunch of dysfunctional, senescent, dead cells and so on all over the place. It also increases mitophagy, which is the regeneration of mitochondria in your system. So all your cells are functioning optimally so that they can defend themselves as well when they get invaded, right? A virus, for example, one of the first things it does is it invades one of your cells because the virus is trying to take over your cellular machinery in order to reproduce itself. A healthy cell has the capability of defending itself against the virus. Number one, by releasing things like interleukins. It neutralizes the virus and the virus's capability of replicating, so the cell itself can defend them. And then if the cell gets infected, the cell can turn on its own destruction so that it doesn't become a virus factory. All of those things require healthy, functioning cells that are turning over and are fresh and are new. All of that is driven by fasting, right? So fasting is a really important thing for my immune system in general. So those are the core staples. Now I take products like Epicor. I do mushroom extracts. There's a number of things. Of course, you load up on vitamin C and zinc and all the basics there as well. But at the end of the day, you can't take enough of those other things. You can't take enough vitamin C, enough zinc, enough of those types of nutrients to overcome the dysfunction in your immune system that's driven by a dysfunctional gut, right? So you have to work on the gut as a key part of it, and then all the vitamins and nutrients and all that will work even better when you do.